Hello, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou, and today I'm going to share with you some more Christian historical fiction books that have won awards in the last few years. This is actually my second time of recording this video because the first time I went to edit it and none of the audio was there. So it was very lovely pictures of me. Yeah. I'm just going to read out a quick description of each book, but if you'd like to see the full description, I'll leave a link to my blog post in the description below, and you can see the whole thing. Also, if you've missed any of the videos in this series, then I'll leave a link to the playlist down below where you can watch all of the different award-winning Christian fiction books that I've been talking about. So to start with, A Light on the Hill by Connelin Cassette won a Carroll Award in 2019. Though Israel has found relative peace, Moriah has yet to find her own. Attempting to avoid the scorn of her community, she spent the last 7 years hiding behind the veil she wears. Underneath her covering, her face is branded with the mark of a Canaanite god, a shameful reminder of her past captivity in Jericho, and an assurance that no man will ever want to marry her. Mistaken Identity from the Misadventure Brides collection by Kimberly Woodhouse won a Carroll Award in 2019. 1883, Texas. Headstrong, bubbly, accident-prone Abigail Monroe is on a quest for adventure away from society's expectations, but her pursuits are unexpectedly thwarted when she is arrested by a handsome Texas Ranger. Freedom's Ring by Heidi Chiavaroli won a Carroll Award in 2018. This is a dual time period novel. Boston 2015. 2 years after nearly losing her life in the Boston Marathon bombing, Annie David is still far from Boston strong. Instead, she remains isolated and defeated, plagued by guilt over her niece crippled in the blast, and by an antique ring alongside a hazy hero's face. Boston 1770. As a woman alone in a rebellious town, Liberty Caldwell finds herself in a dangerous predicament. When a British lieutenant, Alexandra Smythe, comes to her rescue and offers her employment, Liberty accepts. As months go by, Alexandra not only begins to share his love of poetry with her, but protects Liberty from the advances of a lecherous captain living in the officer's house where she works. And then another biblical fiction book, Isaiah's Daughter by Mizu Andrews, won a Christie Award in 2018. Isaiah adopts Ishma, giving her a new name, Ziba, Delight of the Lord, thereby ensuring her royal pedigree. Ishma came to the prophet's home devastated after watching her family destroyed and living as a captive. But as the years pass, Ziba's lively spirit wins Prince Hezekiah's favour, a boy determined to rebuild the kingdom his father has nearly destroyed. Catching the Wind by Melanie Dobson won a Carroll Award in 2018. What happened to Brigitte Berthold? That question has haunted Daniel Knight since he was 13, when he and 10-year-old Brigitte escaped the Gestapo agents who arrested both their parents. They survived a harrowing journey from Germany to England only to be separated upon arrival. Now a wealthy old man, Daniel's final hope in finding Brigitte rests with Quenby Vaughan, an American journalist working in London. He believes Quenby's tenacity to find missing people and her personal investment in a related World War II espionage story will help her succeed where previous investigators have failed. The Lacemaker by Laura France won a Christie Award in 2018. Lady Elizabeth Liberty Lawson has nearly everything a lady of her position could want. Daughter of the British Lieutenant Governor of the Virginia colony and a darling of fine society in a rugged land, she is anticipating an advantageous marriage. That her betrothed is a rake and love is lacking is of little consequence, or so she tells herself. Though her own life seems in order, colonial Williamsburg is a powder keg on the verge of exploding, and her fiancé's cousin, Noble Reinald, carries the flame of revolution in his heart. A Note Yet Unsung by Tamara Alexander won a Carroll Award in 2018. A master violinist trained in Vienna, Rebecca Carrington manages to wheedle her way into an audition with the maestro at the newly formed Nashville Philharmonic. But women are, quote, far too fragile and frail, unquote, for the rigours of an orchestra, and Rebecca's hopes are swiftly dashed because the conductor, determined to leave his mark on the world of classical music, bows to public opinion. Nationally acclaimed conductor Nathaniel Tate Whitcomb is Nashville's new orchestra leader, and despite a reluctant muse and a strange buzzing and recurring pain in his head, he must finish composing his symphony before the grand opening of the city's new opera hall. Many Sparrows by Laurie Benton won an INSPI Award in 2018. When settler Claire Inglesby is widowed on a mountain crossing and her young son Jacob captured by Shawnees, she'll do everything in her power to get him back, including cross the Ohio River and march straight into the presence of her enemies deep in Indian country. Frontiersman and adopted Shawnee Jeremiah Ring promises to guide Claire through the wilderness and help her recover Jacob. Once they reach the Shawnees and discover Jeremiah's own Shawnee sister, Rain Crow, has taken custody of Jacob, renaming him Many Sparrows. Keeping his promise becomes far more complicated. Lady Jane Disappears by Joanna Davidson Politano won an INSPI Award in 2018. When Aurelie Harcourt's father dies in debtor's prison, he leaves just two things: his wealthy family, whom she has never met, and his famous pen name, Nathaniel Droll. Her new family greets her with apathy and even resentment. Only the quiet houseguest, Silas Rotherham, welcomes her company. When Aurelie decides to complete her father's unfinished serial novel, writing the family into the story's unflattering characters, she must keep her identity as Nathaniel Droll hidden while searching for the truth about her mother's disappearance. And finally, Missing Isaac by Valerie Fraser-Lewis won a Christie Award in 2018. It is 1965 when Blackfield hand Isaac Reynolds goes missing from the tiny and unassuming town of Glory, Alabama. The townspeople's reaction ranges from concern to indifference, but one boy will stop at nothing to find out what happened to his unlikely friend. White, wealthy, and fatherless, young Pete McLean has nothing to gain and everything to lose in his relentless search for Isaac. In the process, he will discover much more than he bargained for. So, as I said, let me know down in the comments if you have read any of those books and you can recommend them. Also, let me know if any of those stand out to you as ones you might want to read in the future. I hope you found something useful in today's video. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe if you're not already done so. I hope you have a really great reading week, and until next time, God bless. Bye!